Jesus tells many stories about God's great kindness and generosity towards us, and how we should be kind and generous towards others, not just with money, but also with our time and energy and our friendship and understanding. We see this generosity perhaps more than anywhere else in God's creation of the universe. As we look out from the earth and move out towards the stars which in Genesis are almost added as hardly worth mentioning. He also created the stars, and which King David, when he looked up, perhaps could see a few thousand at the most. And yet with modern telescopes, we have become aware of the unimaginable size of God's created universe. As we move out through the stars of our own galaxy, the Milky Way, which is estimated to contain perhaps 100 billion stars. We move through and out of the galaxy and begin to see it as someone watching from outside. We begin to see the shape of our own galaxy forming. And we see the typical spiral form that our galaxy takes, those 100 billion stars. And then our own galaxy fades into the distance as we move further out into space. And what we are looking at now are not individual stars, but individual galaxies. As we move further and further out, billions of light years from our Earth, we see an innumerable number of galaxies, perhaps up to 100 billion galaxies, and each galaxy with 100 billion stars, as we move towards the very edges of the known universe. An unbelievable generosity in God's creation. As we've travelled to the outer depths of the universe, so we travel now to the inner depths of a single leaf on this California redwood. And as we move in and through the breathing hole, the stoma, we see the individual cells which make up that leaf. And these cells receive sunlight, and as we move into them, we see the nucleus and the green chloroplasts which process the sunlight, and as we move into them, we see further and deeper structure. The parts of the inner working of the cell which store sunlight and use it to create the energy that the plant needs. And we are now right down at the molecular level of the plant. But even more than the vast expanses of the universe, or the great complexity of God's plant and animal creations, God's great love and generosity is shown in his giving of Jesus, in his death and resurrection. No other act of giving can compare with this. And so as we think upon this, let us strive to show generosity and compassion to those around us, to show generosity with our time, our resources, our affections,